The rain taps against the window like a tired heartbeat. I sit in my office, the amber glow of the desk lamp casting long shadows across stacks of financial reports. A photograph catches my eye, a family from 1970, standing proudly beside their new car. Price tag visible, $3,200. That same car today? $45,000. The family hasn't changed. The car hasn't changed. So what did? I pour myself a cup of coffee, watching the steam curl upward and vanish into nothing. Just like purchasing power. Just like the silent promise that the money in your pocket today will mean the same thing tomorrow. Most people feel it, that gnawing sense that no matter how hard they work, they're running on a treadmill going nowhere. Groceries cost more, rent climbs higher. Yet their paycheck stays stubbornly the same. They blame themselves. They think they're not working hard enough, not saving enough, not smart enough. But what if I told you the game itself is rigged? What if the very system designed to protect your wealth is quietly, methodically, stealing it from you every single year? The answer isn't hidden in some secret vault. It's happening in plain sight. And tonight, we're gonna follow the money straight to the source. Let's start with a number that should disturb you. Since 1913, when the Federal Reserve was established, the US dollar has lost over 96% of its purchasing power. 96%. What cost $1 then costs nearly $28 today. Think about that. Your great-grandparents could buy a full week's groceries for what you now spend on a single cup of fancy coffee. This isn't a conspiracy. This is mathematics. This is the mechanism called inflation, and it operates like a slow leak in your financial boat. Here's how it works. Every time the central bank creates new money, and they create a lot of it, they're not creating new wealth. They're diluting existing wealth. Imagine you're at a party, and someone keeps adding water to the punch bowl. The bowl looks just as full, but every cup tastes weaker. That's your money. The number on your bank statement stays the same, but what it can actually buy shrinks year after year. The official target? 2% annual inflation. Sounds harmless, almost gentle, but compound that over a decade, and you've lost nearly 20% of your purchasing power. Over a lifetime of working and saving, the erosion is devastating. The Federal Reserve calls this price stability. I call it what it is: a silent tax on everyone who saves, everyone who waits, everyone who plays by the rules. And the twist? This isn't an accident. It's the design. Now, let me show you something that should make your blood run cold. Between 2020 and 2021, the Federal Reserve printed approximately 80% of all US dollars that have ever existed. 80% in just 2 years. Let that sink in. More money was created in 24 months than in the previous century combined. They called it stimulus. They called it emergency measures. They called it saving the economy. But here's the question nobody in power wants you to ask. If creating money creates wealth, why isn't everyone rich? Why aren't we living in paradise? Because printing money doesn't create value. It redistributes it. From those who save to those who spend. From those who wait to those who act first. From ordinary people to those closest to the money printer. Think of it like a game of musical chairs, except someone keeps removing chairs while you're not looking. When the music stops, there's always someone left standing, and that someone is usually you. The wealthy understand this. They don't hold cash. They hold assets, real estate, stocks, businesses, gold, things that rise with inflation, things that absorb the flood of new money. Meanwhile, the middle class clutches their savings accounts earning 0.5% interest, while inflation runs at 3, 4, sometimes 8%. It's not a fair fight. It was never meant to be. I stare at the city lights through my rain-streaked window. Millions of people out there, working hard, saving diligently, believing the system rewards patience. The cruelest lie isn't the one you're told. It's the one you're never told at all. So what do? How do you protect yourself from a game where the rules keep changing? Here's what most people miss. The goal isn't to beat inflation. The goal is to stop playing defense and start playing offense. First insight, stop thinking of cash as safety. Cash is not a store of value. Cash is a melting ice cube. Every day you hold it, it shrinks. This doesn't mean spend recklessly. It means understand that uninvested cash has a cost, an invisible cost measured in lost purchasing power. Second insight, assets are your armor. The wealthy have known this for generations. When inflation rises, asset prices rise with it. Real estate, index funds, commodities, even certain collectibles. These aren't just investments. They're lifeboats on a sinking ship. Now, I'm not telling you to gamble your rent money on stocks. I'm telling you to shift your mindset. Every dollar you save should be a soldier working for you, not a prisoner losing strength in a cell. Third insight, understand the difference between nominal returns and real returns. Your bank might offer you 2% interest. Inflation might be 4%. That's not a gain. That's a loss of 2% disguised as a win. The system is very good at making losses look like victories. The rain has stopped now. The city settles into an uneasy quiet. Knowledge is the first weapon. Awareness is the second. Action is the third. I close the case file and lean back in my chair. The photograph of that 1970s family still sits on my desk. They weren't richer than you. They weren't smarter than you. They simply lived in a time when a dollar meant something more. The system isn't broken. That's the hardest truth to accept. It's working exactly as designed, just not in your favor. Inflation isn't a bug. It's a feature. A feature that benefits governments drowning in debt. A feature that rewards borrowers and punishes savers. A feature that keeps the wheels turning while slowly grinding down everyone who doesn't understand the game. But now you understand. The average person loses 2 to 3% of their savings value every single year. That means if you save diligently for 40 years, you're not just racing against time. You're racing against a system actively working to dilute your progress. 1 month of every year you work goes not toward building your future, but toward simply staying in place. The Stoics taught that we cannot control external events, only our response to them. Inflation will continue, money will keep being printed, the game will go on. Your power lies in refusing to be a passive player. So here's what you do tomorrow. Look at your savings. Ask yourself, is this money working, or is it waiting to die? Then take one step, just one, toward converting stagnant cash into productive assets. Open that brokerage account. Research the index fund. Start that conversation about real estate. The rain always returns, but those who prepare don't drown. This is the Financial Detective, and in this game, knowledge isn't just power, it's survival.